This is the American cash rate. How much cash has actually been printed in America? The measurement unit is billions of dollars. And as you can see, it sort of tracks along for the last 50, 60 years, from 1960 to 2020, and then it shoots up in 2020. It, in fact, before 2020, it was almost at $4,000 billion. That's the unit of measurement they've got. And then it goes up to 18,000. Now, I don't do maths, but that's 4.5 times the amount it was before 2020. That's insane. That's insane. That's like up 800%. That's insane, guys. Up 400%. That's crazy. I think that we're due for a collapse if things go wrong. Now, I don't do financial advice, guys, but I'd be very careful in investing in anything right now, whether it's the stock market, whether it's property, but don't take my financial advice. Remember, I'm 23. What do I know about this stuff? But when I see the money supply shooting up like that, it's exactly what we saw before world wars. It's exactly what we saw before a country collapses like Venezuela. Watch out. Watch out, people. It's funny. I didn't plan it this way. The graphics just sort of came out this way. It's funny. I didn't plan it. There was a recent survey that came out which basically went through the biggest issues that faced the voters in the Democrat Party, but also in the Republican Party. So they split it. In the Republican Party, it was interesting how they broke it down. Republicans were most concerned about 1, illegal immigration, 2, lack of support for police, 3, high taxes, 4, liberal bias. That was very, very interesting, and it's concerning to see that. I'm having a bit of a mind blank right now. I think that I honestly thought election fraud was a lot higher. These are sort of the main concerns that facing the Republican Party. Now, illegal immigration, there's a few reasons for that. A lot of people aren't having their jobs taken by illegal immigrants. And if you think I'm being xenophobic, it's the truth. In Texas, there's a great story, and you can look this up, about a chickens farm where they hired 3,000 illegal immigrants. ICE, which is their immigration department, federal department, they stormed the facility. They got rid of the 3,000 illegal immigrants working in this chicken processing factory. And 3,000 black people, Americans, got hired there. That's what we want to see. We want to see people from that country being hired. So a lot of people are concerned about this, especially when there's a shortage of jobs in America. And there's a ton of other concerns that were raised. But the point you should be taking from this is the first 5 things are all sort of, they're policy based. We go to the Democrat side, basically, and the top issue they have is Donald Trump supporters at 82%. 82% are extremely concerned. 10% are somewhat concerned. So that's 92% that are very concerned about Donald Trump supporters. That's not good. That is not good. That is a sign that the country is coming apart. The next one after that is white nationalism at 79%. Then after that, systematic racism. And then there's gun violence. Democrats do not view themselves as being proud of their country. And the more, America is a great country. They've done some phenomenal things. And it's heartbreaking to see this because they need to be reminded of what makes their country truly, truly, truly great. But we're not seeing that right now, are we? This week we saw Facebook end the ban on Australian news. Josh Frydenberg announced. And look, it's good to see them back. But again, as I actually called this, I said that they're going to let it back because the government will always win. They always win. They've got the biggest hammer, and Facebook was never going to leave. Now, Australia's not their biggest contact, but the problem was Australia's got friends like India, and India's got over 1 billion people. And the fact that they thought that they could boss around Australia without thinking about the other allied countries is ridiculous. And as I said, there are no heroes in this situation with the Facebook news ban. I mean, friends like ours, like Monica Smith, got banned. I didn't like to see that, but we saw it. And we saw a lot of the mainstream media banned. And I don't like that. I don't like that at all. I like to see productive dialogue happening, and I don't like seeing two big, massive corporations fighting, like Google and Facebook, but also an even bigger government with a bigger hammer fighting on this stuff. I don't like seeing it at all. In other news, Craig Kelly resigned from the Liberal Party to move to the crossbench, the Sydney Morning Herald reported. Am I surprised? No. I warned you, Scott Morrison. I said, if you keep nigelating a very reasonable person like Craig Kelly, this is going to happen. Something bad's going to happen. And now he's resigned. Now you have a very slim majority of 76, and you lost a very reasonable MP. An MP who I think he won his last election with an 8-point majority. That's pretty good. With a 58%, that's pretty good. And the fact that you want to replace him with someone else, I mean, do you really want to rock the boat, ScoMo, in New South Wales after what Gladys pulled? A lot of people very frustrated with the Liberal Party. Now, don't get me wrong, I think the Liberal Party will form government again in 2020 or 2021, whenever this election is, because it could be as soon as August this year or as late as April next year. I think it'll be this year, but it's up to Scott Morrison when he calls it. Australia will be a Liberal government, I believe, after the next federal election. And Craig Kelly, I think he's going to be around. If he runs as an independent, he's going to be around, and you're going to regret this, ScoMo. You really, really are. And here's a video of Craig Kelly actually briefly explaining this, and you'll notice, please notice, that they actually cut off Craig Kelly's mic and they cut away from it. This is Sky News.
Heavy heart. I believe that for as long as the rest of this parliamentary term goes, if I'm best to represent the constituents of my area and to be faithful to the oath that I took when I swore in as a member of parliament, and to be able to speak frankly and fearlessly, I need to do that from the crossbench rather than from the government benches.
And is this because Scott Morrison told you off the other day? Is it?
No, I have the greatest respect for Scott Morrison. I said in the party room today, I hope he goes on to be one of our longest serving and greatest Prime Ministers. I'll support the government, naturally, of course, on all matters of supply, confidence. There's nothing that I can see that's on the agenda papers that I'm going to be objecting to strenuously what the government is doing. The government should be able to continue as it was and continue to function, but I just feel that if I'm to speak out and to use my voice the best I can, this is the best decision for myself and for the people that I represent.
Is this because you felt like you were gagged on social media about ivermectin and these sorts of issues?
Well, I believe one of the greatest mistakes that has been made in this country and also the world was prohibiting doctors from prescribing ivermectin and also HCQ with zinc. I believe this was a terrible error. It's not about that or the vaccines, and I've been labelled an anti-vaxxer, which is just a slanderous smear. I support the vaccine program, but in concert, to use the words of our highest credentialed immunologist, these other treatments should be used in concert with the vaccine. And yet we still have here, I turn on the TV and I hear government bureaucrats saying there's no evidence.
There it is.
You're just listening
there
to our political editor, Andrew Clennell, speaking.
Oh, yeah. Why can't we listen?
Kelly, who has just
Are we too stupid? Are we too stupid to understand what he's saying? Are you worried we're going to make the wrong decisions? Why are you cutting away? Why are you cutting away? What is wrong with you? I want to hear what he has to say. I want to hear what the man has to say. This is what frustrates me. It's when they talk to you like you're an idiot. We can't trust the public with this information because they might hurt themselves. It's like saying we don't want to give these scissors to this child because he might cut himself. I can't swear, otherwise I'll be demonetized. It's absolute BS. BS. It's crap. What they're doing is being elitist, snobbish people that look down their nose at you because you're too stupid to come to your own conclusions about these medicines, about the vaccine, about a ton of these issues.